We are here. 2026 fantasy drafts are among us, baby. The NFL is drafted. Flock just hopped off his live, and I didn't get to see none of the drafts, so I was itching. Hopped in here on, I think it's the Doshan, which are the $8 drafts, and I just like the odds as the advancement stage gets through. So we got here on pick 8. Here's the board right now. Got Amon-Ra, which these first 8 picks I have as basically the first tier. Outside of those guys, you start to fall into another range where it's your James Cook, CD, like Chase Brown goes early in this draft, so we'll see who's making it to us here. I'm sure Amon-Ra K9 will be pretty common correlation, but doesn't mean it's not a good thing to do. Now, I'm going to have to check in on how this live's running in just a second, make sure everything's smooth and all. But let's take our second pick here. So K9 goes. We got the grouping of RBs. I'm going with Rashi, bro. Let me just do that. Like, I like the RBs, but not necessarily enough to not push it. So I like that Rashi more than the next tier of receivers, besides Olave. You know, I feel like Olave and Rashi are about the same tier. Like, maybe Rashi could show that he's better, but in best ball. But are we really consistently drafting Rashi over Olave? Let me know. What are you guys doing? Alright, I gotta make a quick thumbnail too. Alright. Let me just quick make us a thumbnail. Nah, that's not even any better. I'll leave the background. Never let me know. Can't take heartbreak for us so long. Let's put a little glow around here. We 5 picks away, so I'm about to hop back in here. Alright. That's good. Alright. Let's see. 1 pick away. Alright, so who we taking? So we know we went with the 2 receivers, and I'm definitely liking ETN. You know, I also like Olave, and it feels kind of crazy to be thinking, bro, take ETN over Olave. But in this situation, taking the wide receiver at the early in the last round over that grouping of RBs, I think it just makes sense to at least get ETN. So, I mean, there's definitely a tier fall off. Let's go look at all the RBs that I missed out by taking Rashi. Saquon, Dehen, Omarion, and then Jacobs. And that's it. Those are the only 4, and I was kind of thinking like whether Jacobs could make it to me or not. But we'll see what ETN's got. Olave goes at the next pick, so I think that ETN could be good, especially just seeing the way that boy's smiling out and, you know, just camp and being with the team. I think they're on an up-and-coming offense, not that I think it's good yet. So I kind of was feeling like he'll produce a little worse than he did last season, but we'll see exactly. So RBs, I'm not like urgent to take no Brees. Thankfully he goes. Definitely can take a Mecca, or you take your shot on Loveland. Right now, this is the leader. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. Fan desk in a crib. I gotta check on the stream, make sure. Hey, is stream laggy right now? How's stream? Alright, so we got Amon-Ra, Rashi. ETN, and Egbuka. So first 3 receivers, and then our first RB. And like, there's some debate for me not even considering taking one of these RBs, because I know it'll get shy if I don't make one of the tier up until Swift or Tutin. And Tutin's debatable now because I'm hearing things like this Chris Rodriguez guy is gonna be our main, might be the main RB. See, there goes Demo, which is like the guy who I'd like to be getting not as my second RB, but my third. And that's been the main thing I've been learning so far. Flock was just talking about, like, before he joins any of the big money drafts, he's gonna be making sure he likes the way he's drafting and feels like he's making mistakes left and right now. And, you know, that might be my most common mistake up until this point. It's just letting the RBs get too shy before I have enough of them. So I always like this overpower receiver stuff. But, you know, we'll see. We definitely, depending on how this whole thing flows, like, and if stream is, you know, hey, if we got 10 likes in stream, we'll run a second draft. Get us to 10 likes in this stream and we'll run a second draft. I know it's already getting late, but then people out on the West Coast, Rifat Zayed, you know, it's not too late for you. It just hit 9 o'clock. He ready, locked and loaded to get into bedtime mode. So, all right, let's look at the draft board. See who's coming up, see who's going. It looks like a lot of receivers recently. So, yeah, G-Will out at the end of the 4. That's beautiful, bro. To get, dude, TMX has Chase, Neighbors, Jacobs, G-Will, and his pick there of Swift, which is a good pick in my opinion. So, yeah, we see all them receivers go: Terry, Waddle, J-Mo, Evans, Luther, and outside of that, Bucky and Demo, and there goes Scat. So we might have missed the whole tier of RBs. Judkins is my last one, and like I said, Tutin is a question mark right now. We want a giveaway. Yeah, that year 2 giveaway, baby. Let's do it. All right, so we're next here. Quinshawn is our guy in the tier up, so we'll take him as our RB2. Obviously, not that you're looking to have players on the Browns, but ETN was in round 3, it looks like. That was our 3rd round pick. So we went Amon-Ra, Rashi, ETN, Egbuka, Judkins. And then we're back up here in just a moment. Could take Burrow. Could look at one of these RBs to be a 3rd. Jadarian Price, we're not going to know anything about. Good thing he goes. Or we can look at a Tyler Warren, which I pretty much have as... Like, I have Warren, Kraft, and Fannin all in the same tier, but I feel like I have Warren cutting an edge on that. So, we'll see. If Warren's here, I can take it. I'm also not mad if I don't get it, because I know I can get Fannin later. Then, QBs, Burrow went. I don't really feel like I need JD or anyone else right now. 2 in, it could make sense to just get your 3rd right now. And wide receivers, I feel like I'm good in that tier. So it's between Warren or 2 in. Now we have 2 RBs. The RBs coming up at the end might be a lot more shy. But we don't really know what they're saying about 2 in, even though I feel like he'll take that role. So I go with him over Warren. He's our 3rd back. Now I feel just a little more secure knowing what I've been learning is that these RB rooms get so shy that I end up with just not enough, knowing that it's not going to be enough throughout the season. So I like that, not necessarily knowing that we'll end up with Warren. However, feeling likely that we could get one of him, Kraft, or Fannin. Obviously don't want to be building up too much Cleveland correlation, but, you know, I'll take it. I'll take it for sure. All right, let me, hey, how's setup? Oh, y'all don't see me? Yo! What is going on? How did... Nah, that's ridiculous. Yo, that's ridiculous. Y'all don't even see the RV? Alright. We're 8 picks away. Let me figure this out. Bro, put that above. What are we doing? Hey! I think we're in now. We should be in here now. Are we in here? Oh, I'm a little delayed. Yeah. Alright. Now y'all got the studio. Alright, I don't need to do too much of that. But as long as we in there, as long as we good now. Yes, sir. Alright. Alright, I could finish this thumbnail after the next pick. Is this where I can see all the chat? Live chat. If I can have my chat right here. Bro, why is it? I swear it be ODM. I be y'all. I ain't mean to be spamming. I ain't mean to be spamming, Zed. Alright. We're up in 3 picks here. Warren just win. That would have been a lovely fall. I mean, either way. Warren to 76 is beautiful. This guy's got JD, Bucky Scott, Puka GP. Wow, Brock and Warren. Hey, bro, you didn't need no Warren. You could have left him with me. So I'm not too urgent between Kraft or Fannin, even though Kraft might just be the move. We'll see who else is on the board, though. Definitely not urgent on any of these QBs besides Herb, maybe at the next pick. I'm not huge on Warren. Could be valuable. I mean, these RBs are starting to get shy. I'm happy I got the last one. You know, starts to get to the tier where you don't really know. I definitely like a receiver at one of these 2 picks, if not both. Leaning those. So I think Kraft win. Do any of these guys got tight ends? Yeah, I'm gonna take Warren or Fannin if I make it. Oh, I think I missed. Okay, that's only enough. So we'll either end up with 2 receivers or Jay Reed in the tight end. So we got Jay Reed as our 4th receiver. And then Fannin goes. That's only enough. So we'll end up getting to push this team off in tight ends unless we decide one of these guys are going to be our guy. But for the most part, we're about to pair it up with either Jacoby Myers or Quentin Johnson. And we could also look at a QB right now, but I'm not too urgent on it. I like all these QBs, so we're just going to do what's best for the team. You took ETN over, and if you think he'll bounce back to us, you. All right, let's look after this pick on ETN, who we drafted him over. So I'm going to go bro, 5th receiver. Let's do Jacoby. I feel like I'd like to go Quentin Johnson there, but we'll go Jacoby. So, what RBs did we take ETN over? At the end of the 3rd, we took him over Kieran. We took him over Brees. We took him over ETN. Or not ETN. Henderson. Demo. And Bucky. Those are the RBs we took him over. I mean, there could be a case for Bucky believers or Demo believers. That starts to get early, in my opinion. I mean, Henderson doesn't even have the role secured yet. Brees is on one of the worst offense. I mean, I can't even really say that, but just like one of the most poverty franchises. Not that, like, Brees wouldn't be better than ETN, but I'd rather have a Saint right now of a guy who's smiling than Brees, who seems like he's rather be out of there than anything. And then Kieran, who I faded my first year, and he never produced poorly. And then I started drafting the next year, and he was solid, just like you'd want for your RB2, but not RB1 necessarily. And they're only talking more about him splitting carries with Corum, which I don't feel like is necessarily going to be what happens. But if that is the case, I mean, I definitely like having ETN I feel like ETN can't, and I took him over Chris Olave, which I talk about a lot. Like, I feel like Olave should be being drafted here with Rashee. And I feel like taking one of the two Saints, I mean, Olave's proven himself more. But, I mean, it's just kind of about me having taken Amon-Ra and Rashee first, knowing RBs get shy, that ETN to me was a tier up. And, bro, it's just kind of like when you see the pictures of that boy, like, he's genuinely smiling right now. And, like, I don't really have no attachments to it. This is probably the first ETN I've taken. But I'm cool with that. Wow, all the QBs win. Holy shikey. We'll do Shuck later. We could do Stafford or Goff right now. I'm going to pair the Jags RBs. Is that what I'm doing? Yeah. So we'll have Bashal Tutin and Chris Rodriguez. And then that might be able to be all our running backs. Maybe we'll end up with a fifth one. But not too urgent. Definitely open to seeing one of these RBs. Tight ends, like I said, will probably push off because I'm just not huge on Sam Laporta or Kyle Pitts, even though you could always get your explosion with him. However, I feel like having Goff, who's always the top 10 quarterback, at least for the last 3 years, obviously that's the past and we're in the present, so anything can be changed. Do I want him over Shuck? I mean, it makes sense. So I'll probably queue Goff first, Shuck next, and see if we don't get one of the three in the queue at our next pick. We'll find out. I could start taking a Rondé Gadsden or a Jake Ferguson at the next pick, but I mean, I'm not too strung up about tight ends. Like, if you miss the first tier, I feel like you can always still get yourself something solid. Kieran always finishes as a top 12 RB. All right, let's stack Goff to Amon-Ra. Got our starting QB. It's not like we're going to be leading points there, but we could definitely end up with Shedeur on this team. We'll see. It'd be beautiful if Worthy made a super fall to us, but, I mean, his ADP was only 2 picks after our last one, and we're still 13 away. So, let's pull up Kieran. Or let's pull up Sleeper. Yeah, I don't know why it's not showing the chat there. I think it's because I X'd it. Alright, we're looking at Kieran's rank, what he finished last year. 2025 stats, season, not Kieran. Alright, Kieran finished as RB9. So he's finished as RB7, 7, and 9. He did get the least amount of his attempts, or less attempts, last year than the year before, about the same amount of yards, and 4 less touchdowns, which we started to see going to Corum a little bit more, and about the same amount of catches, yards, and 1 more touchdown. 100 extra yards receiving. So, I mean, he's still been a top 10 receiver for 3 straight years, or RB for 3 straight years. So, definitely no question if you do want to go Corum or Kieran as your RB1 instead of ETN. What do you think? Alright. Do we take Ferg? It's probably the position I'd say we're at. Get our first tight end on the squad. What do we think about Mark Andrews, aging Mark Andrews? I would take Likely too, bro. And then I'm not huge on the RBs I'm seeing, the wide receivers I'm seeing. McMillan will put up some points, but I'd rather have Tez Johnson. CJ Stroud's debatable. Juwan Jennings got signed to the Vikings. Alright, so who else is with the Vikings? Who else is with the Vikings? They got Addison. Yeah, bro. He could be the wide receiver 3. I don't know. I'll take Bryce Young on this team too. Or we could do Cam Ward right now. I'm not huge on that. I don't think he'll outscore Bryce. Alright, we could take our 5th receiver. Oh, we got our 5th. I'll probably take Jalen McMillan, and I'd like to get Bryce Young at the next pick. So we'll see what happens QB-wise. It'd be good to get him as a 2nd. Hunter Henry could definitely fit in on this team, or more my favorite, Juwan Johnson. Hey, how we doing on likes? We got 4 likes. I think it's only Rafat in the chat right now in the stream, but we got 4 likes, 10 likes for a 2nd draft. I didn't even finish making the... Let's do this real quick. Shikey. Here we go. Eight picks away. Let's tap in. And put it in the back. What? Pause. Alright. Nah, that's messed up. It's alright. I know what's wrong. And I'm not gonna fix it, so it's just gonna be moderate. 4 picks away. Should go right to there. Alright. Save. Download. Current. Download. Hop back into the draft board. So, 1 pick away. Our Bryce Young goes 2 picks before, but I'll take the Cam Ward fall. Hundo piece. I do think Bryce Young, the fact that Bryce Young is ADP way further than Cam Ward, I think is wrong. I bet Bryce finishes over Cam Ward this year, but for the ADP fallers, for the correlation, I'll take Cam Ward there. I don't necessarily have any correlation. Ooh, Juwan Johnson could have been a nice play to debate our 2nd guy, but I'm also okay with Hawk. I'm curious what we end up seeing happening there. Speedy Naylor, Trey Tucker, both being drafted in the same spot because they don't know who's who. Speedy Naylor is the guy. I was getting him as one of my last picks early. Alright, and then let's update the thumbnail real quick. Super speed, baby. That's tough. Okay. Now y'all hooked up. So, looks like all these tight ends going. We could take Chig. Set to join Commanders. I don't really know what would happen there. I think Ertz is still there. We could take Tajay if we wanted to think the correlation with him and Cam Ward would turn into something. But I'm going to be honest. Rather than taking a Tajay right now, I'd rather just bring in a Speedy Naylor. You can get the wide receiver 1 for Mendoza. Not like it's going to produce a lot, but, you know, open the door. So, I'm not taking no Calvin Ridley. Probably not getting any correlation. Hey, we at 5 likes. We halfway to 10 likes. We'll hop in a 2nd draft if we get to 10 likes. So, here's the team so far. We are not necessarily juggernauts at QB or at tight end. And, I mean, let's just get everyone in the chat's opinion on the RB room. Travis Etienne is the one. I definitely can see him having a good season. Not that I think he'll be some dominant one, you know. Let us know down below. But him, Johnson, Quinshot Judkins, and both Jags RBs. Bashal Tutin and Chris Rodriguez. So that's basically the RB room. Wide receiver room is always where you're going to find Fantasy Destin's power. Maybe as we learn and evolve over the days, that can change or grow. But right now, it looks like Amon-Ra, Rashi, Egbuka, Jaden Reed, Jacoby Myers, Jalen McMillan, and Jalen Naylor. And then we just got Jake Ferg right now with a handful of tight ends. Honestly, Juwan Johnson was one of the end of a tier. So we're going to end up having to get 3 here. I'll highly likely end up with Gunnar Helm on this team. Little correlation with Cam Ward. It'd be better if he was our tight end 3 than anything. But yes, sir. Big Uno. Could get Samson with Judkins. Samson already went. I was thinking about it. Is Judkins really ready week 1? I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't be. Wow, am I taking Gunnar Helm as the tight end 2 right now, bro? I guess I have to. So I'll take Gunnar Helm. He's our second tight end right now. I only really got him with the correlation to Cam Ward, faller, which was only it was a 14 pick faller, but I'm sure there's been bigger. I mean, our wide receiver room is powerful. We're gonna have Jake Ferg, who was tight end 1 for however much of the season, being consistent with Gunnar Helm if he can put up some weeks, and we'll end up seeing who a third could be, like a Mike Gesicki kind of thing. Greg Dulcich, potentially. Tonjes. Those could be the ideas for tight end. But I don't want to get screwed in a queue, so let's see who's up right now. Do we need a third QB right now? We could definitely have Rodgers. So I'll take Rodgers if nobody else. If I don't end up taking Rodgers, I'll probably end up with Shadur. Do we want Calvin Ridley, the old ass? Nah. He not going to play like that. I'll take Rodgers. QB3. Just didn't sign. Shit. But at least says he's leaning towards playing. Hey, spam dubs in the chat. Throw a like. We have 5 likes. If we get to 10 likes, we'll hit a second draft. I definitely got some ideas I'll play with, so no need. It's no big deal if we just have this one team to go into it. I mean, the QB room is moderate. We got Goff, who finishes his top 10 every year as of recent. We got Cam Ward, who has some explosion games, potentially, and probably will put up a few weeks for us. And then Rodgers, who will probably just fill in the gaps. And then RBs, we got Etienne Judkins most of the season. And then Jags RB as either flex or to fill in on buys. Or if one of the first 2 don't do good. Wide receivers, we got power. Amon-Ra, Rashi, Emeka, Jay Reed, Jacoby, McMillan, and Naylor. And tight ends are definitely looking for a third right now. So how many picks we got left? Probably not too many. 2 more? 2 more picks. Hey, everyone in chat, spam up the like. Everyone on stream, spam up the like. I feel like this is going to be our only draft for the stream today, but if we get enough, if we get 10 likes in the stream, we'll hop in a second one. Late night. Late night drafts. Let's go. Hey, how's the setup right now? How's the setup? It's getting clean. Let me see what y'all see. Yeah. Yeah, it's a clean setup. We'll figure out exactly how we want it looking. I'm either going to keep this main blanket or exchange one of the blankets for the white one. We'll just see what flows, what ends up. Whatever Destiny has, you know how it is with me. So 2 more picks. These are going to be our last 2 picks of the team. I'd like a tight end in one of them. Is Njoku not going anywhere? All right, I'll take my tight end with the last pick. Who else do I want? I might just take Gesicki right now. Like, I don't expect much, but maybe he gives us a few weeks. Dolcic might be the guy who could give you more weeks throughout the season, but he also might just not put up a point for you. Now let's find the last player we want for this team. Probably none of the RBs. So it'll be a wide receiver shot. Everyone spamming chat who we're liking. I gotta open up chat. Everyone spamming chat who we're liking right now. Any names that you see that should be our last pick, tell us in the chat. Keon, Jag Besh could have correlated. DK. Kendrick Bourne. Tez Johns. I did talk about that one in this video. Jalen Tolbert out in Miami with not much competition. That might be a fun one. I haven't drafted Tolbert. Maybe I have. Dude, nobody's gonna be better than him, though. Jack Besh didn't do dookie last year, man. DK gets extra comp, double extra comp. Not doing it. Let's go, Besh. And that's the first team, man. That's the first team. If we get 5 more likes in the stream, we'll hit another one. But in the meantime, let's look at how we did. Let's see what we think. Tell us down below what you think on the team. If you think there's any places we could have improved or things that you like. QB room, Goff, Ward, and Rodgers. It's not going to be some superpower. It's more so to get you through if everything else is the superpower. RB room, ETN, Judkins, Tootin, and Rodriguez. Only end up with the 4 of them. We got 2 RB1s and then the RB1 of another team. Amon-Ra, Rashi, Emeka, Jay Reed, Jacoby, McMillan, Naylor, and Besh. Finish with 2 Raider receivers. See what happens over there. And the tight end room, again, it's not going to be the strong point. Jake Ferg, Gunnar Helm, and Gesicki. So what do we think of the team? Any of these names that I queued that you think we should have been taking over Jack Besh? Or does Tolbert have a few weeks? Or just because there's no comp? Or is he not good enough? Tez Johnson, definitely like getting him as our last pick. So what do we think? Spam up the likes. Sub to Fantasy Destin. Like and sub. And we're going to keep on drafting. We're going to keep on getting teams for the season. Before we hop out of here, I'm going to look at the teams I got so far. Because I think I drafted 5 teams on the first day that I could. So that was today's team. Let's see how I think it compares. Joe Burrow and Brissett is better, but it might miss out on weeks. James Cook, Omarion, and then Harvey. I mean, that's, again, same kind of position. You got 3 RBs, not much else. Olave, Egbuka, Carnell Tate, Jay Reed, Downs, Worthy. I mean, I like how it turned out, but it was weaker than what I just drafted at the start. And the tight end room is better with Likely, but it isn't really any better. So that's a similar kind of team build. This one, Herb, Bryce, I honestly like that. James Cook, Chase Brown, Quinshawn, I like that a lot. Tet, Emeka, Marv, Golden, Worthy, Shakir, Naylor. We'll see. I mean, better team in my opinion. Not sure if I like it a ton. Josh Allen, Stafford, Bucky, Chuba, Dobbins, Rodriguez, Emmanuel Wilson. I mean, we just don't know if we have an RB2 on that team. JSN, Rashi, DJ, Sutton, Shaheed, Naylor, McCaffrey, Keon, and Gadsden, Hawkinson, Tonjes. I mean, that's okay. This team already looks better just from the QB room. Burrow, Goff, Bake. Might have been a lot early. We got Omarion, Swift, Mason, Katron Allen. We might not have a 3rd RB. So bye weeks, we literally might just be screwed. Or Katron puts up some games and Aaron Jones goes down early. And then outside of that, we got JSN, Olave, Emeka, Jay Reed, QJ, McMillan, DK, and Tez. I mean, a lot of my receiver rooms look similar. And then Fannin, Jawan, and Stowers. It's the same kind of build. I think I like that team the best so far. And then this first team that we had drafted after the NFL draft was Mahomes and Bryce, CMC, Bucky and Quinshawn, Rodriguez again, which I guess I've been drafting a good amount of, Singleton and Kamara. Might be a lot of RBs. Let's look at the rest of the team. Rashi Olave, Marv, Downs, Worthy, Naylor, Tank Dell, and Tez Johnson. I mean, I like it. Kraft and Hawkinson. We'll see if it can hold down. So, hey, that's going to be a wrap. Thanks for sticking with us. Smash the like button, like and sub. We're going to keep growing Fantasy Destin. And, yeah, man, let's just keep drafting. Keep looking out for drafts. I'm not going to be the consistent one. Like, if you want consistent nightly streams to hop on, one of my favorites, go over to Flock Fantasy. He's streaming at 8 p.m. every night. I'll give the free promo right now. Outside of that, I might be hopping on lives when he's done or whenever else I feel like it. I'm in the middle of moving out. You know how it is. So, yeah, you'll be seeing us around. You'll be seeing our teams. And go check up on the Instagram. You know, I haven't really been posting Jack Diddley right now. So, you can go over there, though. That's where we put up the most of the content. Got some videos coming on the way. So, love y'all. Smash the like. And subscribe, baby. It's destiny.